Money-making Moochers. This guy cashed in on popular crowdfunding campaigns by straight up copying them. The Hustle, Tuesday, February 1st, 2017. Brought to you by Ivy. Storytime. The copycats of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding has fundamentally changed how products get made, how businesses launch and grow, and most importantly, how dreams become a reality. Yay, dreams! However, it's also given copycats a golden opportunity to get rich, and depending on where you stand, that's either great, the best product wins, or unfair, moochers. Here's a story to further explain the sitch. Shortly after graduating college, Jack, as CNBC agreed to call him, came across an Indiegogo campaign for Kaiser, an inflatable lounge chair. First thing he noticed, the product was absolutely crushing it. Goal was $18.5 thousand, raised $4.1 million. No big deal. Second thing he noticed, the idea wasn't unique. In fact, an identical inflatable lounge chair had finished second on the Dutch TV show Best Idea of Holland way back in 2010. So, Jack figured he'd copy the copycats and make his own. After a brief internet search, he found a Chinese manufacturer who was willing to make the product. Soon enough, he had a name, The Cozy Bag, a website and hundreds of units en route to Canada, ready to be sold to customers. A few months later, our boy was looking at $100,000 in revenue from a knockoff. Naturally, he decided to do it again, only bigger. Remember the Fidget cube? The handheld desk toy with 6 sides worth of clickers, gears, and joysticks designed specifically for fidgeters? It was one of the most funded projects in the history of Kickstarter, $6.5 million raised. However, when manufacturing issues caused delays, Jack, now a veteran at this game, swooped in with a carbon copy called the Stress Cube. Next thing you know, he was selling 800 per day en route to $350,000 in revenue in just 2 months. Moral of the story. As we mentioned up top, there are 2 sides to take here. 1. You're Team Jack. Hustle hard. May the best product win. 2. You hate Jack's cherry-picking face. Come up with your own idea, kid. How bowda? There's also this takeaway. Making money on the internet has never been easier. Get out there. Social media. Team Jack or Team How Bowda? A potential chink in Under Armour's armor. Today, Under Armour stock took its biggest hit in 9 years, with sales estimates coming in way below analysts' predictions, about $650 million below. This dip is causing many to speculate that the activewear maker's growth may finally be plateauing after seeing 20% sales growth every quarter for the past 8 years. And since moisture wicking is no longer a cutting-edge technology, more and more traditional apparel companies are rolling out their own lines of athletic clothes, meaning Under Armour's home field advantage will continue to dwindle, especially now that spandex is a fashion statement. These days, we all wear our stylish track jackets and sneakers to do pretty much everything except work out, except like eating ice cream and some joggers. The growing trend of athleisure has put Under Armour decidedly out of their element compared with brands like Old Navy, Old Navy Active, Victoria's Secret, Victoria's Sport, and Gap, Gap Fit, which have a little more experience making clothes that don't just feel good but look good too. Case in point, Under Armour's release of Steph Curry's dad shoes, which left a bad taste in everyone's mouths. But the memes were delicious. But they're certainly trying. In an attempt to revamp their image, Under Armour released a fashion-forward line from award-winning Belgian designer Tim Coppens. Unfortunately, however, it hasn't juiced their numbers as much as they'd hoped, and even more unfortunate, they don't hand out participation trophies on Wall Street. Social media. If you're not first, you're last. Slack goes corporate. Last week, we talked about Slack's new thread feature aimed at distancing themselves from even further from cluttered inboxes. This week, the company has another industry in its crosshairs, enterprise software suites. It unveiled its latest product, Enterprise Grid, to target large corporations like customers Capital One, PayPal, and IBM. What's included? A lot of things you might expect, like better administrative controls to allow IT departments to manage teams, tighter login security, and data recovery. It will also include new bot integrations to manage travel, expenses, and performance via a partnership with SAP. Yes, the grid. Okay, so the grid refers to different workspaces within a single company, allowing teams to work independently of one another while still collaborating when needed. For example, in the current model, a company of 500 people might rely on a single Slack workspace, which doesn't work so well when you're a company like IBM with nearly 400,000 employees. In the grid structure, sales can have their own workspace separate from HR, etc., while still being able to communicate through specified shared channels. So, they're selling out to the man? Not necessarily, but they are going to face the reality of working with huge companies. Older, more established corporations not only pose a technical challenge with a ton more communication channels to coordinate and simplify, but a cultural one as well. Users may not be as quick to adopt Slack's new style of communication, let alone the app's constant stream of updates. Social media, Slack against the machine. Lego wants to be the next Instagram. Alright, that's probably a stretch, but to be fair, the Danish toy maker did just launch its own social network called Lego Life yesterday, and considering it functions quite similarly to IG, newsfeed, individual profiles, likes, and comments below each post, who knows, maybe that is the ultimate goal. More likely objective, create an internet-safe haven for kids. Aimed at kids 13 and under, Lego Life naturally has a bunch of restrictions to keep things G-rated. Those include no real-life photos, Lego vets every image. Parents have to approve the sign-up through email verification. You can only comment using Lego emojis. Once they're inside the app, kids can follow specific topics and groups. Batman fans assemble. Complete real-life Lego building challenges and cyberbully each other. Just kidding, they can't do that last part. That's literally the whole point. Keep it safe for the kids. Ugh, aren't you paying attention? This is either solving a problem or just creating a new one. Kudos to Lego for realizing two things. One, kids love phones, and two, no sane parent wants their 12-year-old dabbling in social media's vast universe of sketchiness. So yeah, one could argue that they solved the problem by creating a product to appease both parties. Then again, why are we pushing social media on kids? Shouldn't we stick to go play in the yard, Billy, for as long as possible before they turn into smartphone-addicted zombies like the rest of our godforsaken species? I don't know, man. World's weird. Social media. Play with sticks or something. Wednesday, what have you? What's one of your favorite smartphone apps that people might not know about? In other words, tell us about an app you frequently use that isn't named Facebook, Snapchat, Google Maps, or Uber. Join the conversation. This edition of The Hustle was brought to you by Ivy. Making friends as an adult is hard. Making friends after college isn't as simple as going up to someone on the playground and asking them to play kickball. It's hard to know where to find people who share interests that don't always involve getting wasted at a bar. And even if you do manage to start up a conversation with some cool people in a workout class or a networking event, how do you transition to actually hanging out? It's a tough line to walk. Ivy makes it easy to meet awesome people, aka adults who want to make new friends and learn new things. Ivy brings members together through unique experiences like trips to Cuba and Iceland, volunteer opportunities, outdoor activities, and learning from world-renowned speakers. Their diverse community of entrepreneurs, artists, and aspiring leaders form a tight-knit network to help members expand their horizons and grow not just as professionals, but as people. So if you're in New York, Boston, D.C., L.A., San Francisco, Chicago, and Miami, sign up for Ivy today. This unique link will get $100 credit towards your first event. Now go meet your new best friends. The Hustle. Subscribe, jobs, advertise, ambassadors, events. Kendall, be my friend, baker, writer. Lindsay Quinn, a well-wrapped present. John Havel, backseat editor. Amanda Livering Cole, alternative fuel consultant. You opted in by signing up, entering a giveaway, or through divine intervention. 1381 9th Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94122. In the United States, 415-506-7210. Never want to hear from us again? Break our hearts and unsubscribe.